Let's take a moment to look at auditing and the fundamentals. With an auditing policy, you're going to have the security administrators go through and define a policy that has the auditing procedures on each database. You have to decide what questionable type of activities are suspected that you're going to be looking for in the audit, and you're going to decide what level of detail to audit in the database. General system auditing is followed with more specific types of auditing after you look to determine what kind of activity is going on. So auditing is going to be monitoring and recording selected user actions. It can be based on either the individual actions, such as the type of SQL statement run, or a combination of factors. Could be things like a name, application, time, so on. The security policies can cause auditing when specific elements in the database are accessed or altered, including the content. You're going to have the audit examine documentation that relates from the business or the individual actions or practices. When we start talking about measures, it's going to measure the compliance to policies and procedures, process, and relationship to the laws. We can think of auditing being used to enable future accountability for the current actions that are taking place in a schema, a table, a row, affecting certain kind of contact. It could be to investigate a suspicious activity. For example, if an unauthorized user is deleting data from a table, then the system administrator could set up all the connections to the database and all the successful and unsuccessful deletions of the rows from the tables in the database. Likewise, you can use it to monitor and gather data about specific database activities. Example would be the administrator can gather statistics about which tables are being updated and how many logical input-outputs are performed, how many concurrent users connect at peak times, that sort of thing. So that would be looking at the effectiveness and the adequacy of the entity. With that, you're going to go through and review the reliability, integrity of that particular entity. You're going to make sure that your organization is complying with different policies that are set, procedures, the different regulations, laws, and such that are set forth, and then you're going to go through and establish plans and policies and procedures for conducting the particular audits, so you know what you're looking at and how you're going to be viewing it. So you can think of the audit, it could be like a consultant to the architects or the developers or the business analysts. Basically, you can have organization it's set up organizationally, doing internal audits, and with that you're going to look at the different items that are being met by the organization and those items you would want to audit. You're going to need to look at the different types of items that can be used for the audit, and then look at the security issues that must be addressed, and provide and have the legal department involved in your audit for making sure that everything's lined up correctly. So with that, as far as the type of records that you could be using for auditing, you could look at successful statement executions, unsuccessful executions, or both. You could look at statement execution once each of the user sessions or every time the statement is run, or you could look at activities of all users or a specific user. There are just different components that are involved in auditing. You need to set up your auditing objectives, and with that, that's going to indicate what you're trying to accomplish, what's important, what things you're looking at, and then your procedures are going to be the step-by-step instructions and tasks that you would use to actually evaluate the objectives that you set up. When you look at the individuals involved, it could be the auditor, it could be employees, it could be managers. So there's different roles involved in the audit itself, according to what you're trying to go through and monitor and track. With that, then there's documents, processes, systems that are involved with the audit.